To talk about patriarchal dominance. We did speak about it a little bit last week when he was here, when we were discussing the issue of national shutdown for GBV and femicide. So he mentioned something very critical, and I thought, why not have a discussion about it? So patriarchal dominance is a social system where men hold the most power and where leadership, authority, and decision making are centered around men. So this will include men control of power, gender norms, social and cultural expectations, and also systemic barriers. And to tell us more about it, and also where does this then affect us as a nation, and on how we can really move as a nation to where we are now ready to have a female president, because he also mentioned something very critical, that for our country to be really stable, we need to have a female president to be the leader of this country, and maybe with that will create some kind of balance. Mr. Musekwa, thank you so much for joining us on Uniso Radio.
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for introducing me very well. Indeed, my name is Rikho Musekwa.
Yes.
I am the founder and the chairperson
Yes.
of the Rikho Tendani Musekwa Foundation.
Nice one.
Yes.
So, Mr. Musekwa, please tell us. You
Yes.
mentioned very critical points, and I even remember them from the back of my head.
Yes.
For us to be stable as a country,
Yes,
we should have a female president.
of course.
And you also spoke about patriarchal dominance.
Yes.
I did give a few pointers on what patriarchal dominance is.
Yes,
But from
yes.
your side, please, if you can explain it to us.
Well, we must first trace the origin of the terminology as to where it comes from, so that we can provide a proper perspective and a proper understanding of what it means itself as a terminology, not its definition.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Okay.
So this patriarch, it's a Greek word which starts with patrich. Ne? I can't pronounce it properly because I'm not Greek.
Oh, yes.
Ne? It says patrich.
Yes.
Ne?
Yes.
So patrich means father, and then it is followed by archis, right? Or archi. So archi means rule. So the literal meaning of the word is rule of the father.
Okay.
So in its most basic sense, it represents a male-dominated social structure where men exercise control in both private and public domain.
Okay.
So that's what the word means. It's a Greek word, the rule of the father.
Yeah.
So patriarchal dominance, it's very much visible, and it has been visible for the longest of times. In especially, let me just say, in South Africa or in Africa. Most of the elements that you will find in patriarchal that would strongly express patriarchal dominance, you find them in African customs.
Yeah.
Right? And then you also find them in African customary law. I'm going to make a very typical example. African customary law used to say, African customary law of succession, it used to say all the assets that will remain from the father will go to the firstborn son. So do you get what that means? It simply means that African customary law at that point in time, it had an unhealthy disregard for a girl child. Another example that I'm going to make, if we look at a chieftaincy or traditional leadership, in most parts of South Africa today, you are still going to find that particular practice happening. It is very rare for you to find a female leader. The only female leader that I would know of myself that led a nation as a woman, it was Queen Mujaji.
Oh, yes.
And also, if you go to Venda at the current moment, there is a particular debuncle for that particular traditional leadership. There's a girl child fighting against Ntoni Pepera Mabora. So you understand that there's an attempt now to want to change and take over that particular power from a male-dominated structure. So that's patriarchal dominance, but it does not. It is very much visible. If you look at majority of leadership roles in this country, they are led by men. If you look at CEOs, you look at vice chancellors, you look at, I came here and made an example. I said, for the past 31 years, you have never had a female president in this country. It is so simply because the term itself explains itself, rule of the father. So it is still being practiced, and there's very much serious resistance from South Africa. You know, it's like what patriarchal dominance. Patriarchal dominance is like racism. If we go back now and look at the history of South Africa, the history of South Africa says that South Africa was white dominated in terms of everything, right? Economically, it being the country, it was under a white rule. Now, black people are starting to say, no, but we need to fight because we're being oppressed. We must understand the reasons behind why they want to fight, why us as black people want to fight against anything that has to do with racism. It's because it was oppressing us. Racism it oppresses us. So when a feminist agenda rises up to fight against patriarchal dominance, it is well justified to do so, because patriarchy, it is a form of oppression on women. So you see that all of us have got a struggle to fight. To fight against that party, it is a form of injustice. So patriarchal dominance does not only happen in public spaces, but also in private domains. You find those things in private domains. Those are private arrangements, let's say household issues, as to who plays which particular role. That is an agreement between two individuals as to who lead the household in what type of an arrangement. Those are issues between two individuals. But in the public sphere, that's where we have a very huge problem. Even here at the University of South Africa at the current moment, right? If you look at majority of the managerial roles, you look at chairs of departments, you look at, I'm not going to be filtered here, I'm going to speak the truth. You look at managerial positions, you look at CODs, you look at directors, you look at VPs and all those things. There is a particular dominance that is happening there of male figures having to occupy those strategic, critical positions. However, since the arrival of the Vice Chancellor, she is striking a balance. Now to say, no, it can't be that this university has got a majority of its leaders become only male figures, while they are capable women figures, right? That's why it's just that I've not read it extensively, but something that I'm still gonna do. That's why there's a Bosadi theory as one of the catalytic niche areas. It is to conscientize women that women, you are also capable of doing this thing. You can't always be under, women can't always be babysitted. For an example, Akere people appoint themselves as babysitters of others, while others are able to do the work, but you want to be a babysitter. So male figures, they behave and feel so superior in such a way that it becomes, them occupying strategic positions becomes a form of an entitlement.
But then does that speak to the ego of a man?
Well, at some point, yes, to a certain extent it does. No, in actual fact, it does speak to an ego of a man, because this thing of a man being told that, well, he's got absolute power, he can lead, the whole entire authority belongs to a man. It was taught from culture itself, tradition itself. You go and check the norms, the values, the morality behind it. It has always taught that a man is a leader and has never spoken to a woman being a leader, right? not only traditionally, but also biblically.
Yeah.
If you go and check the Bible, why is it that the Bible would term God as a man? It tells you that even this Bible, it was drafted by a male figure to, and it did not only speak, it does not only speak to a race. No, patriarchal dominance has got knows no race.
It's gender influence.
Yes,
Gender based.
it knows no race. It is just a pure struggle of two genders, one oppressing the other.
Yeah.
Because it is the reality that I'm saying, that if you go and have a careful look at the Bible, each and every individual in the Bible that is being heroified there is a man.
Yeah.
It tells you that when this Bible was being drafted, it was drafted by a man. If you go today, I'm speaking to you that I'm in a so-called democratic country now. If you go and check the parliamentary list and put it on issues of gender, you are going to find that close to 70% of people that are there in parliament are male figures. And probably 20% could be females. For you to get to parliament, it's issue of what? It's issue of a party list, right? You go there through a party list. So who do we blame? We blame all these political organizations that say they seek change and transformation in this country. You go to each and every political party and ask them, why is it that majority of you that are in parliament are men? And you go back and ask them, these political organizations themselves, because these political organizations themselves are the one in actual fact that are depriving us of a female president, right? You go to this particular all these organizations and say, which one of you as the organizations in this country do you have a female president of your own organization? I can tell you now in confidence that it's none.
Because, then my next question would be, you mentioned that, for us as a country to be well balanced,
yes,
we need a female president.
Yes.
But because of the patriarchal dominance that we're experiencing as a country,
yes,
are we ever going to be in a position where we do have a female president?
Well, the issue of female president, I've said this before, ne? And I'm going to say it now because it's the same struggle. We need a very serious unity of women. Women need to unite. I can tell you now for a fact that the number, in terms of population, the number of females is more than the number of males. If females were to come together and co-join the numbers and become one united front and form, let's say, for an example, form their own political organization, strictly, if they're saying, we want to make history in this country, they remove the issue of party lines. Say, no, we're going to vote for this political organization, which is only of females. I can tell you that we can go to elections, and when we come out of those elections, we're going to come out with a female president. But I can tell you now for a fact that should it be that we are to continue with how things are, me and you might not even live to see a female president in our lifetime.
Talking about the society and the future outlook,
Yes.
of this country being ready, one, to have a girl child lead,
Yes.
to have a president as a female or a woman,
Yes.
to really have women in spaces where they represent, a united front, or even in spaces of leadership, is, a question that I feel like even coming the next 5-10 years, we'll still be here and talking about patriarchal dominance,
Yes.
patriarchy in the country, how women must work twice as hard for them to take leadership roles. But then how can we, and I know that you mentioned, females coming together as a united front, but with the little co-joined or united front that we have, why do we still have men that would still come and say, but?
It's a sense of entitlement from men.
Also, another thing, the issue of entitlement, does it also come from, societal practices,
Yes.
because of women not being put in space of leadership. And I will say this, I actually do applaud Chief Albert Lituli for what he did in putting women in spaces of leadership, because
Yes.
he really believed in feminism,
Yes.
and he really believed that women could lead. So with that said, can we just
Well, just like I've said, you see, when something has become a societal norm, it takes time, and it's very difficult to change that societal norm, because the reason why men would stand up and say but, it's simply because men have, a boy child in actual fact has grown up or raised with a sense of entitlement over everything. Hence, when a boy child, an unprincipled boy child, would be having a disagreement with a female, would then extend it into applying masculine power over the female.
yeah.
That's entitlement, that you need to listen to me. It's my word or nothing. If a woman says no to an unprincipled boy child, a boy child would want to take that forcefully. That's entitlement. You feel that it is my way or the highway.
Yeah.
So you can tell that it has been a practice that has been there for centuries. So that's why men would stand up and say but, it's because they feel entitled to everything that exists under the sun.
Mr. Musekwa, with our departing words, what do you think would be of our greatest change, when coming to us challenging the patriarchal system as a country, and looking at it in all angles, looking at it in the space of GBV, looking at it in the space of leadership, looking at it in the space of governance, looking at it in the space of entrepreneur, and you mentioned something very critical to say that our Vice Chancellor introduced, in her project of the 10 catalytic areas, there's also a Busadi theorization where it's all things women.
Yes.
And I know that she is a great believer of women that must lead. With that, how can we really change or challenge the system when coming to the issue of patriarchy in our country?
Well, we need to...
And also involving men in it.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say.
Yes.
There need to be a very serious awareness, because patriarchy has just become normal. And even women don't even
challenge
it anymore.
Yeah.
Because it has become a norm. If patriarchy can become a norm and racism does not become a norm, what is the difference between those two theories? Because all of them, they seek to oppress. We managed to come together as a nation and fight against racism.
Yeah.
Why won't we manage to come together as a nation and fight against patriarchy? Why? Is it because we are of the same race? And it's fine for us as the same race to oppress each other? Is it okay like that? So we are able to fight a racial issue and win, but as a nation we can't stand up and fight against patriarchy and win, because both of them are forms of oppression. One seeks to oppress the other. So if we are saying indeed we are people of Ntu, Singabantu, Ribatu, Ndimutu, and I am because you are, is that Ubuntu only applied when it fits a particular narrative? It does not need to be spread across most, which means we are really not who we say we are.
Yeah.
We are just trying to appear as if we are a very much moral society, while we are not. Because if we are saying we are people of Ubuntu, when we were championing the apartheid era, there was in the what you call, in the interim constitution, Ubuntu was there.
Yeah.
Was written expressly. It was expressed. in the new in the current constitution of the Republic of South Africa, Ubuntu is not expressed there. You understand? But it is said to be one of the guiding principles. How do I become a person of Ubuntu, humanness, if I wake up in the morning each and every day, stand proudly in front of the nation, knowing very well that I'm oppressing women? I'm not even supporting their efforts as a man in trying to get them to a particular position. Because all of us, majority of the people, there's a girl child at home. There's a girl child at home. How would you feel when it's your younger sister being oppressed like that? If you go and kill a girl child out there, how would you feel if it hits home? So we are truly not a united nation. South Africa is very much divided from economic aspects, political aspects, gender aspects, racial aspects. We are not united. We are just people who like to speak a lot of nothing and believe that we are making sense while we are not. We just use too much English. But the reality, I hate people who want to, when they are asked about questions and topics that they could just speak about them openly, straightforward. We don't need to sugarcoat it. We need a straightforward answer about what is patriarchal dominance. And most people might be surprised. Why is it that this young man comes out and criticizes his own gender? I do criticize it because I've got sisters that one day must become CEOs, one day they must become vice chancellors, one day they must lead serious companies, they must lead positions of power because they are capable of doing so. Not because they are women, but because they are doing so. So I advocate for the fact that women must be given equal opportunities as men. The time of saying, no, a man must lead everything, politics, economics, religion, and all these things, it must come to an end. We must strike a balance in society. Society must be balanced.
100%. Mr. Musekwa, thank you so much for joining us here on Unity Radio and Sony TV, talking about issues concerning you. We really do appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
And we're talking patriarchal dominance here on Roundtable Debate Show with me, Mamkete Musekwa. Catch us again tomorrow from 10 to 12 as we talk about typical issues concerning you. Connect with us. I'm going to be ushering